Good day and welcome to Islandstats Sports. I'm Earl Baston. Goslin's Invitational leader from day one, Kurt Hannafield, saw it all slip away on the 18th hole on day 4 and the 72nd hole of the tournament as a bogey handed the title to Brian McCann on his 9th attempt in Bermuda. Hannafield took a one-shot lead into the final round, but he could not hold on to it. Coming up to the final hole of the tournament, Hannafield and Danny King were both at 10 under par alongside Brian McCain, who had just finished ahead of the pair. McCain explained the roller coaster final few holes.
I made a great birdie on 16 to get to 6 under par for the day. I had no idea where I stood in the tournament all day. I didn't want to know. Hit a great tee shot on 17, just came up short in the rough, and I missed a 4-footer for bogey. And then I asked a couple of guys on 18T where I stood, and they told me I was one up. So I hit a great tee shot down the middle on 18. I thought I hit a really good pitching wedge second shot into the green that would have been pin high. It ended up not. Horrible position to have to two-putt to guarantee myself a win, and I was certainly nervous, absolutely. And ran my first putt by, and the second one just hung on the edge. But and then finishing that way, going bogey, and then two guys are tied with me playing the last hole. I know they made bogeys and they're disappointed right now, but I was disappointed kind of having them have the opportunity to go into a playoff or potentially win making birdie. So I was just total nervous energy, and I was still upset with myself finishing bogey and not really thinking I hit a bad shot. But to win this tournament, this is my 9th straight year coming here. Finished second 4 times, so it's a great feeling.
How much did the win today, the conditions, play a part in your game today?
The wind, obviously, was the hardest conditions by far of the 4 days. I think I've always been a really, really good wind player. I can flight the ball as low as anyone, if not lower than everyone. So, when I knew I was trailing by 4, I welcomed the conditions, thinking that might give me the best chance to catch up. And it kind of played out that way.
What did you think when you went to your first tee on 4 days ago? What did you have to shoot overall in order to come out on top?
You know what? I mean, you never know here. You never do. I mean, even pars won this tournament before, 10 under won today. I knew with the conditions being what they were and playing lift clean in place and being able to move the ball in the rough, that was a huge advantage to the entire field. It made the golf course play a lot easier. There were countless times that I was around the edge of the green near the pin where I would have had a horrible lie in the rough, and having the opportunity to move that made it a lot easier. But I never had a score in mind.
What does a 9-time player, 4-time runner-up, and now champion do from here on?
Win again next year, I guess. I mean, I try to win every year. So, I was just fortunate today. I played great. I knew I'd have to play great to have a chance to win, and I did.
7 goals were scored in Friendship and Shield preliminary round matches at the Devonshire Recreation Club last evening. Somerset Trojans have marched into the Friendship Trophy competition after defeating Robin Hood 3-0 in their preliminary match. Dion Stovall gave the Somerset Trojans the lead in the 39th minute. He then doubled the lead 5 minutes later as the Somerset Trojans took a 2-0 lead into the break. Leo Burgess would score the only goal of the second half and gave Somerset Trojans the 3-0 win. In the Shield preliminary match, Paget Lions defeated Ireland Rangers 3-1. Wyron Aswood gave Paget Lions a 1-0 lead after only 10 minutes, converting from the penalty spot. Aswood doubled the Paget Lions lead in the 48th minute, only to have Henry Santucci convert from the penalty spot to pull Ireland Rangers within 1. Devin Dill was on hand in the 84th minute to calmly place the ball in the back of the net as Paget took a 3-1 win and advanced to face St. George's Colts in the next round. It was semi-final night at the Bermuda Squash Rackets Association Club as the BSRA 2015 Club Championships continued. In the men's open division, John Fletcher and Thomas Sherritt will meet in the finals. This after Fletcher defeated Andrew Stout 5-11, 11-7, 11-5, 11-8. And Sherritt defeated Anthony Fellows 5-11, 11-3, 11-3, 11-9. In the Ladies Open Division final, it will pit Laura Robinson against Rachel Barnes. Robinson defeated Denise Kine 11-3, 11-2, 11-7, and Barnes defeated Susie Lacey 11-8, 10-12, 11-5, 7-11, 11-7. Tyrone Smith continues the road to recovery in his bid to prepare for the 2016 Rio Olympic Games. Back on September 9th, Smith was due to take part in the Great City Games showcase. However, during the warm-ups, Smith grabbed his leg and withdrew from the competition immediately, later stating on his social media page that this is what it feels like to tear your hamstring. Smith has been working hard to get his strength back. He's quoted as saying, "I'm doing well. The hamstring has recovered nicely and I'm back to full training." Smith went on to say, "I started rehab 2 days after I got back to Houston and received a PRP injection 2 weeks after the injury, so we really attacked it early." Smith concluded by saying, "We will see how the next 6 weeks of training go, and we'll hopefully be ready for the World Indoors. If not, we will certainly be 100% in April." End quote. It's the most wonderful time of the year, so says moth sailors after hydrofalling around Bermuda's Sunsplash Great Sound in anticipation of the Emlyn International Moth Regatta. With winter descending on the northern hemisphere and shutting down home training bases, as many as 60 sailors from 14 nations have been invited to Bermuda in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean for the regatta. Hosted by the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club, the Blue Ribbon Fleet begins racing for the $10,000 prize purse, including $5,000 for the winner. Racing gets underway on Monday, December 7th, with the final day of racing scheduled for Friday, December the 11th. On the final day of the international horse jumping event in France, Patrick Nisbet competed in only one event. During the 1.35-meter table A against the clock class, Nisbet and Quavadaz Hayatez finished 25th. The player clocked a time of 77.22, but they had 4 penalty fault points. Bermuda Amateur Swimming Association has updated the short course meter records following the Rowdy Gaines Classic in Orlando, Florida, the Shark Sprint Meet at the Bassa Pool, the Harbor Winter Swim Meet at the Bassa Pool, and the New Market Fall Invitational. During the Rowdy Gaines Classic, Lisa Blackburn broke her own 100-meter individual medley record of 105.35, set on April 30th, 2011, when she clocked a time of 104.19. During the Sharks meet in the 11 to 12 boys age group category, Keegan Woolley is now the 100-meter breaststroke record holder with a time of 120.46, breaking Chris Garceland's record of 121.11 set on March 20th, 2004. During the Harbor Winter Meet in the 11 to 12 boys age group, Woolley broke his own 100-meter breaststroke record, clocking 119.80. In the 200-meter breaststroke, he clocked 2:47.18, which broke Chris Garceland's record of 2:55.86, set on March 20th, 2004. In the 13 to 14 girls age group division, Emma Harvey set a new 400-meter individual medley record of 5:17.89, breaking her own record of 5:24.21 set on March 20th, 2015. During the Newmarket Fall Invitational Meet in the 9 to 10 girls age group, Elin Daly took the 100-meter freestyle record with a time of 1:02.94, breaking her own record of 1:04.85 set on June 28th earlier this year. Daly broke her own 100-meter backstroke record, touching the wall in a time of 1:14.21, eclipsing the record of 1:17.04 set on March 22nd earlier this year. Daly's 200-meter individual medley time of 2:45.81 break her own record of 2:46.46 set on July 11th earlier this year. Elijah Daly is now the 9 to 10 boys 200-meter individual medley record holder, clocking a time of 2:55.67, breaking Mitchell Garapi's record of 2:56.14 set on June 13th, 2010. Thank you for joining. I'm Earl Baston with Islandstats Sports. Have a great weekend.